So last year I was super excited for cross country, and on the first day I woke up and I was like, yes, cross country, I'll run my hardest, be on the top, and not give up. Well, how hard can it be, right? No. Young Scout did not know what she was talking about. Cross country is hard, it's torturous, and it's painful. Every day in my 7th grade season, Miss Damer told me, I would tell Miss Damer how much I hated cross country, how I could never do it ever again. And Miss Noor said how much I really loved it and how much it would impact my health. They told me that I wasn't the only one suffering all this pain. Finally, the season was over and I got to go home after school. This felt great. No more running, no more core work, and no more getting up at 7 a.m. on Saturday. I can finally get all my beauty sleep, as Sarah would say it. A week later, I was driving home and the most bizarre thing happened. I said, I want to run home. I missed it so much. I missed running with my best friends, and I missed the pain, and I missed the hard work. Basically, I missed cross country. Thanks so much to all the dedication my coaches put into my encouraging season. Throughout 7th grade, all I could talk about was how much the 8th grade season would be. I kept on pushing to the top. I was able to make it to top 10. Every day, they would tell me, don't stop, Scout, keep up with Julie and Elena. A couple weeks after cross country had started, I got put in a group with the top people. It was a very hard practice. Every time I crossed the coach, they told me, go Scout, this is your group. And I would never have gotten to where I am now if it wasn't for my coaches telling me to believe myself and that I could do it. And for that, I thank them. Have a great season, everybody. Great season, everybody.
I would talk about Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith is a one-of-a-kind coach and has been a good person to look up to throughout the season. He has reminded us to set goals, to have fun, and, of course, to not forget our water bottles. Whenever we needed some inspiration, Mr. Smith would be there with a story to motivate us. For example, don't let Bay steal your donut, and be a tomato plant. In other words, make sure you never give up and prune yourself to become a better athlete. Be a Danny. We know now that we are tough as nails and that pain is temporary, so we must suck it up. Mr. Smith, thanks for a great season. I might need to dab my eyes.
Mrs. Damer, when I joined cross country last year, the very first thing that I noticed about you was how much you cared about all of us. You have such a strong desire for us to be the best that we can be, while still having fun. In practice, you came up with the one and only run a lap. That was a great idea. It helped us realize that we have to stay focused to reach our goals. And for 7th and 8th graders, staying focused isn't easy, especially when you have Scout Han and Kwong Lee on the team. And on the day of the race, you are the best. You make sure that everyone is feeling okay before the run, motivating and assuring us that we are going to do just fine. If you don't mind, I'd like to add a personal note to that. Some of you may not know this, but I get kind of worked up before a race. Well, Mrs. Damer, you never failed to be there for me. You always had consoling things to say, or at least I think you did. To be honest, I'm not really sure what you said, because most of the time, I was way too nervous to get what you're saying. But Mrs. Damer, I promise you that I'm going to learn how to be cool, calm, and collected when it comes to running in a race. Seriously, your presence meant the world to me. In fact, your presence meant the world to all of us this season. You're an excellent coach, and for that, we can't thank you enough.
Coach Dabowski, one of the first things I noticed about you was your ability to take charge of almost any situation. I also noticed your sarcastic sense of humor and that no matter how many people were talking, we could always hear your voice. When I first met you on the first day of track practice, you kind of scared me, but by the end of the season, you were one of my favorite coaches. I loved the practice plans you would give us during track season, and I especially loved when you would take the distance runners to get Mitchell's ice cream. When you became one of the coaches for cross country, I was really excited. Coach Smith and Coach Damer already had more than they could handle with the 7th and 8th graders, and thanks to you, Coach Dabowski, things were under control. During the cross-country season, you really helped me improve my mental strength, and you always gave the best pep talks before races. You would always encourage us to keep going when we really wanted to stop, and you always made me run faster in the meets by telling me I wasn't running as fast as I could. We can't thank you enough for what you did for us this season.